Hello, hello, everyone. This is Dawn Delvecchio, and I want to welcome each of you. I am so pleased to have you here on this Healing with the Archetypes journey with me. But before we begin, I just want to be sure that we are all here and fully present. So wherever you are right now, I want you to be sure that you're very comfortable. If you're in a room where you can close the door, go ahead and do that. Or if there's other ambient noise or anything to distract you, go ahead and remove that. Make sure you're comfortable where you're seated. Grab a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil because you're going to want to take some notes. Good. Okay. Now, to bring us all together as a group and also to allow us all to align ourselves in spirit, mind, and body, I thought we'd just start by taking 3 deep breaths together. So the first thing you're going to do is just take a nice deep inhale through your nose. And as you exhale, allow all the distractions of the day to simply melt away. Very good. And again, breathing in. And exhaling fully and completely, bringing yourself here. That's right. And one more, breathing in. And exhale completely. Beautiful. Thank you. I am so excited to have you here today for a number of reasons. First of all, I just want to say that I personally have worked with Laura Brown doing healing journeys, and I can tell you from my experience that it is transformative in nature. It has transformed me, which is why I want to share her work with you. So thank you so much for being here. I also want to share with you some really exciting news. We just found out as we prepared for this call that there are more than 900 of you joining us. This is incredible for a live call because all of us together working through and moving through a healing process just exponentially expands the power of the experience. So listen up. I want to tell you what you can expect as one of the biggest benefits of this night. Laura Brown is going to lead you through a transformative Healing with the Archetypes session. This journey will align you with your inner wisdom so you can unleash your innate powers of manifestation. Now, I'm talking about manifestation, whether you need to direct your vital force to create more purpose in your life, or more financial abundance, or more physical health, or to meet a lifelong goal of any kind. This session has the power to be absolutely invaluable to you. How do I know? Because I've been through it myself. I've worked with Laura, and I can tell you this stuff is powerful. Also, I want to be sure that you know that at the end, so listen up here, because at the end of the call, after our journey and after the question and answer period, we've cooked up a very special gift for everyone on this call. It's totally free. All you need to do is stay on until the end of the call, and we will tell you about it. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Laura before I bring her onto the call, because her story is completely fascinating. Laura was born in Wales, and she was raised in the heart of England, pretty much on the ley lines of energy, the energy that passes through the stone circles of Avebury, where the majority of the world's crop circle formations occur, by the way. Her earliest memories are of her dream world, where she frequently had prophetic dreams. In fact, Laura experienced deja vu so much as a child that she actually thought this was normal. By the time she was 14, she'd accurately predicted visits to places, meetings with friends or family, 2 deaths, a house fire, and, listen to this, she predicted the Chernobyl disaster. Now, before Laura was 18, she'd also predicted several more deaths, the downfall of the Berlin Wall, a vehicular fire, and all of this within 48 hours of each of their actual occurrences. Pretty amazing, huh? Okay, now, when Laura immigrated to the United States, she had time to assess exactly how her intuition had become so heightened in those early years of her life. She came to recognize through her explorations that she was working with what's called her inner archetypal field, and this is how she was accessing knowledge of events she'd been predicting. So over the next 2 decades, Laura took on university courses in anthropology, folklore, and multi-ethnic studies because she was looking to deepen her knowledge of these universal archetypes. She also became a yoga teacher and a tarot reader, and, by the way, a mom. She went on archaeological excursions in the Middle East, sponsored by Harvard and Brown universities, where she realized that these relics that they were excavating often symbolized those exact same archetypal forces that she was learning to channel energetically through yoga. Now, after university, Laura founded the Virtual Tarot School and the Flagstaff Yoga Festival, both of which she still directs to this day. At the same time, she deepened her evolving modality of working with these archetypes through not only yoga and tarot, but also sacred body language training, applied and educational kinesiology, hypnotherapy, conscious language training, and more. And for the last 3 years, Laura's been blending her knowledge in workshops called Archetypes of the Body, where she's taught people how to access, converse with, embody, and heal through their inner archetypes by way of modalities like yoga, mythic story, creative visualization, breath work, mudras, mantras, and more. And again, I just want to reiterate that I have actually worked with Laura myself, so I can speak with authority when I say that she knows what she's talking about, and doing a healing journey with her has the power to really shift one's energy and transform your life. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to welcome Laura. Laura, thank you so much for being here, and welcome.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Dawn. I'm so excited that you and everyone here with us tonight has joined us for this archetypal healing session. It's really not every day that I get to share this with as many people at one time. We've got around 900 people who are listening to this webcast, so that's absolutely amazing for me. I had to open up some more lines, but it worked. It was good. So before we begin, I really just want to reiterate, Dawn led us on a beautiful centering a little while ago. Come back to that place and just really understand that on this webcast today, really anything is possible. We're going to go on a journey together to reawaken some of our collective archetypal fields, and I'll tell you more about how we're doing that in a minute. And through going on this journey, we're going to open together into our highest human potential. So doing this with large groups of people as well, that often leads to really profound and transformative results. So I hope you're ready for an adventure. And who knows, I mean, maybe a huge transformation in your archetypal frequency is going to happen for you even before this call is over. It's certainly very possible. So first off, I hope you've got a pen and paper ready, or anything really, to take down some notes, because trust me, this webcast is going to include some really useful energy healing techniques that you're going to want to remember. So we're going to start off tonight with a very brief outline of what you're going to learn during this session. And if you can't see the slides, by the way, there's a way to click through on your screen to see the slides. There are some supportive slides here, so make sure you have access to those. So let's start with a very short outline of what you're going to learn here. I've divided this into about 6 different sections, and the archetype healing exercise itself is going to come at section 4 after I give you some background on the methods I use and why they're very powerful techniques for you to employ here. So in the first section, I'm going to talk to you about the truth about your archetypes. And this is where I'm going to show you why your unconscious mind and your body energy might not right now be optimally aligned with your archetypes, vibrating with them to support you in your life. And we're going to show you how that gets fixed. The second section is really important. I'm going to tell you all about archetypal disconnects in this section and why they're probably holding you back from your soul's potential a lot of the time. Here's where I'm also going to share a really fascinating and probably a bit shocking story about my own work with archetype energy and how I completely turned my life and my health around by reconnecting to my archetypes. So in the third section, we're going to look about how archetype healing actually works. Now, to be honest, most energy healers that you'll work with never actually share their methods secrets like this, but I'm going to give you mine because I just think you're going to get better results if you fully understand what you're doing. So we're going to go into that a bit. The fourth section is going to be the one that you'll have been waiting for, and this is where our healing journey together starts. And I can't stress how valuable this is going to be for you. Very, very few energy healers that I know of do this sort of work with groups online like this. So no matter what, be sure to stick with us for this section. This is really the gold of the entire session tonight. And the fifth section is really very fascinating. It's called How Much Are Your Archetypal Disconnects Costing You? And it's really amazing. It's where we're going to really fully explore what you can expect your life to be like once all 22 of your primary archetypes are reconnected to you fully and vibrationally. And the sixth section, we're actually going to do a Q&A. And this is where we're going to turn the floor over to you. And Dawn's going to help me field some questions and comments from you at that point. So one last thing before we begin, and I think Dawn already mentioned this, but just to be sure, I am going to be giving you a really cool link and gift at the end of the session. It's going to be a completely free gift for every single webcast member in attendance with us tonight. So really do make sure you stay on the call all the way to the end, because it's a really very, very cool gift that we've put together and a bit of a surprise. So, are you ready? Should we get started?
Very excited. I'm ready.
Awesome. Wonderful. Well, let's shoot straight for a little bit about archetypes. We'll go into the truth about archetypes for you. So to put it very, very simply, most archetypes at least exist as psychological patterns born out of historic figures, mythic characters, and literary persona types that we've all seen. And these persona types, these archetypes, have been around for longer than we can count. We see them reiterated time and time over in different, forces, modalities, movies, books, religions, all around us all the time. They're figures within our unconscious, actually, like the king, the pioneer archetype, the shapeshifter, the priestess archetype, the warrior archetype, the cosmic child. And these archetypes can also be universal experiences that everyone on an unconscious level has some imprinting from the collective unconscious for, such as transformation, creation, destruction, celebration. Those are all archetypes and archetypal forces and experiences. So Carl Jung believed that we're all really sharing the same psychic system of a universal collective field of energy. And he called that the collective unconscious, as you've probably heard. His work teaches that this is inherited rather than developed, and that was a really new concept at the time he brought it out. He also said that the collective unconscious was made up primarily of these archetypes. And Joseph Campbell, who you've probably also heard of, has also echoed that theory in his own work too. Now, on an energetic level, we all experience our archetypes as a sort of foundational energy for all our characteristics, motivations, emotions, beliefs, behaviors, everything that we're programmed to do and be and experience on our time on this planet. Our archetypes really help us out by activating our own energy field. They charge us and infuse sort of our very beings with protection and inner support and energy and emotion in all the situations we find ourselves in life, and help us to move through them with grace and ease. And when you learn to recognize and honor and work with the archetypal energy field, what really happens is the archetypes can become your most powerful allies in life. They'll sometimes start showing up in your dreams too, and that's what they do for me, by the way, and even in waking states now through various senses and sensations and sort of an inner eye experience. So that might start happening for you the more you connect with this field. It'll start giving you messages that way. And all I really have to do now to start receiving guidance from my archetypes is to really make sure that I'm connected and vibrating with the same frequencies that they're vibrating with. And that's exactly what we're going to help you do during our healing session tonight. We're going to help you start vibrating with those archetypal frequencies. And when you do that, incredible connections and changes can begin to show up in your life really quite easily. So take a breath, because I'm going to start with a really personal story about how I personally took control of my life by reconnecting to the archetypal field. So the three pictures of me that you're actually seeing on your screen, either now or very shortly when the slide on your screen changes, are pictures of me on the left-hand side from a little bit before today, and on the right-hand side, that one picture of me on the beach there is from quite recently, about a year ago. But the first two pictures, you might notice I'm a little bit underweight. So I don't really I don't really share this with most people, but I think it's really important for you guys to know this. I did a really dark and frightening dance with anorexia when I was younger, and my battle with it ended about 10 years ago. But it had begun when I was about 14. At 14, like a lot of young girls, I was dealing with really low self-esteem, real big self-esteem challenges. And for me, that problem was really aggravated by an abusive home situation. I was receiving really negative attacks on my body image. And I developed anorexia really as a very immature but predictable response to that. For most anorexics, their condition stems from an attempt to regain control of the environment, and that's why they starve themselves. And that's really quite similar to how, well, it's really universal, really, how many of us really try to regain control of some aspect of our life, maybe not by starving ourselves, but rather than by opening up and accepting our own personal power and empowerment, we instead constrict, trying instead to sort of starve ourselves, whether of love, attention, success, food, whatever it is. Constricting isn't really the answer, but it's our best attempt at controlling our environment to try to regain some power and control. And instead of constricting, what really needs to happen is that you need to come more into your personal power in a healthy way, so that you're energetically aligned with the correct vibration of success and not fighting against it all the time. So for me, through depth psychology and yoga and qigong and hypnosis and a ton, just a blend of all these modalities with intuitive work on myself and a ton of therapy, I slowly made my way back from the abyss of anorexia over about 9 years. And today I feel really empowered. And as I'm sure Dawn and my other friends can attest, I pretty much manifest anything I put my mind to these ways, and I'm fairly healthy in my ways of going about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but for whatever reason, yeah. So, I mean, I'm really proud of where I've come to, and the image on the right-hand screen of today is me with a bit more meat on my body, but a very empowered sort of body that really fully supports me in everything I do now. So I just want to re-emphasize that for whatever reason you're on this call with us tonight, I can really attest to this. I've had plenty of students, including myself, I'm my own best student really, who really felt hindered in their ability to manifest change and authority and self-love in so many ways, be it health or wealth or any other things associated with material, emotional, or mental energy. And being in optimal health so that we can have the energy to live our lives to our soul's highest satisfaction is so important. But your health includes your mental, your conscious, your unconscious, your physical, and your energetic states. So what I found through my own journey and through working with all the modalities I have over the years is that there's actually a way to improve all of those parts of yourself together, your mental, your unconscious, your conscious, your physical, and your energetic states. And the decisions you make about manifesting either create a big door being shut to opportunity in your life or a big golden gate being thrown wide open and flowing more and more mastery of that energy of your life in. So that's really the truth, yeah, of connecting, the power of connecting to your archetypal field from an energetic place, just so you sort of understand that. As you should really know by now, though, archetypal disconnects, which is when we're not fully vibrating with our archetypes, are really unconscious barriers that maybe society has implanted in you. However they got there, really from behind the scenes of your life, they start to sabotage your efforts to live out your soul's purpose. So I need you to understand this, and then we'll go into this slide for you because it's really important. Even having just one archetype in energetic disconnect is enough to completely derail your life. So we're going to look at this slide to see some examples of what various disconnects can do for us. And I'm actually going to stop at the bottom bullet point here. You can see that says the warrior, right? And you might remember if you took the quiz with us that the archetypes you see on this screen, I kind of forgot to put the cosmic child in there, but the other ones are there for you. The warrior actually in our quiz results was the one that was the least I don't want to say popular, the least strong collectively for the group as a whole, if that makes sense. And so the order that I've listed the archetypes in here, the cosmic child is slap bang in between the alchemist and the queen, if I had actually put that bullet point in, just so you know. But they're rating our group's results on that quiz from the strongest collective archetype that we have as a group to the weakest. So the priestess collectively for most of the group was the strongest, and the warrior was the least empowered of these archetypes, the most disconnected most frequently. So I'm just going to quickly go through this, and what I've got on this slide is what can potentially happen for you when any of these archetypes are in vibrational disconnect with your energetic core. So if you've got a disconnect with the priestess, which hopefully a lot in this group don't seem to, so well done, group. You can feel, if you do have that disconnect, though, you can feel very in the dark about your life and lost and lonely. You can feel like life and the universe is meaningless. You can feel depressed. And I guess actually I'm personally in a minority in this group because even though I was raised on ley lines and I had all these energetic experiences, they were very isolated. My parents were atheists, so I felt this sense of meaningless and disconnect with the priestess archetype a lot personally. And then right under that, we have the priest. Now, the priest has to do with learning, but also speaking your truth and communication. So if this is in disconnect, you can have a hard time speaking up for yourself or saying what needs to be said. Sometimes your life can be really boring if you're not, fully in a love of learning and joy of learning from life. So, that can be how the priest disconnect can manifest. The lovers, if that archetype is disconnected, again, you can feel lonely, but more of a heartache lonely, like your relationships are lacking a sense of health or wholeness. So that can be a really tricky one for a lot of people if they're looking for soulmates. It's the day after Valentine's Day currently, so, I wonder how much that's up for some people. The alchemist, so the alchemist is sort of in the middle of this set, interestingly enough, how our quiz results worked out. And the alchemist is sort of the transformative magician energy, the creator in our lives. So if he's in disconnect with your vibrational field, you can be unable to transition into new experiences, unable to create. Writers, this is where they experience writer's block or artist's block. All of that's really an alchemist disconnect. And then right under there, I'll briefly talk about the cosmic child because I forgot to put him in. And the cosmic child is that sense of freedom from the universe and support from the universe that allows you to step into new experiences joyfully and playfully. So if that's in disconnect, you can feel a tremendous amount of fear, or like your life isn't really supported by anyone or anything, or the universe doesn't really give you a right to be here, that kind of thing. The queen, when she is in disconnect with you, you can sort of start martyr energy in your being, if that makes sense. Like you're always doing something or giving something up or sacrificing for other people and putting other people by yourself. And sometimes as a protection to that, as an aggravation of the queen, people can start manifesting their energy as coming off as cold or uncaring even to other people, which is completely backwards, but there you go, that's what happens. The king, when he is in disconnect, we can feel submissive, we can feel servant qualities, we feel disempowerment. This is really where all of my personal issues with anorexia came up, right? It was a king archetype in disconnect there. No personal authority, no self-empowerment, no self-esteem. The warrior, and this is probably important for a lot of people on the call tonight because it was the result that very frequently showed up as lower or weaker for people who filled out the quiz. This is a disempowerment that can result in procrastination, not being able to get things done, not being able to put one foot in front of the other to actually walk the talk and make and manifest change in your life. So, getting that warrior archetype really clear and aligned is really where manifestation is at its core. That's what needs to happen, right? Mm-hmm. So, for instance, what if you had a warrior disconnect? And that might cause you to believe that taking action is aggressive or inappropriate. Dawn and I talked about this the other day. You might just become sort of the type of person who maybe slaved away working for other people instead of having the courage to take action by beginning your dream business or putting your needs first, because that might seem too aggressive. Or you might be a bit like I was sort of scared to take action recovering your own health. Anything like this happening in your life could cause you to miss so many really precious moments with your family, your friends, the people around you. You might even start overexerting yourself, but sort of spinning your wheels at the same time and making yourself sick like I was and ending up in hospital or worse. So that's sort of where the disconnects can really end you. And you can really see that left unchecked, even one of these single archetypal disconnects can completely ruin your life. And what I've found is that most of us have actually about 10 archetypal disconnects that are, at least 10 actually, that are affecting us to one degree or another. I've only really addressed 8 of them in this call, but there are a total of 22 primary archetypes, and we'll go into that a bit more later on. So I start to think of our archetypal connections and disconnects really a bit like a projector lens in a movie theater. So the movie reel in the projector room is a bit like your archetypal field in a way. It's there with the correct programming on energy to send you out into your life and support you living your soul's highest purpose. But you can imagine what would happen if the projector's lens was dirty, right? So, you know, the vision you get, how you project that energy out into the world would be smudged or dirty. It's a bit like that when you have an archetypal disconnect, to put it very simply. It would be really difficult to play out your life fully because some of your life energy would be blocked by the disconnect, right?
Like a blur.
So, or cloudy, or, some people describe, you know, their soul purpose is feeling foggy to them, right? So archetypal healing is a bit like cleaning and polishing the lens of your life's projector screen so that you can clearly and easily bring forth the correct energies in your life.
Nice.
So I'm going to really quickly go over the journey that I'm going to lead you guys on this evening, and this is very much particular to you, okay, because of the survey we all filled out collectively at the group, and thank you so much for doing that. If you did that, it was very, very helpful. Essentially, the journey from where we all want to meet, where we all seem the most powerful, so there's a lot of group energy and dynamic feeding the starting point of this journey tonight. We're going to start at the priestess. And then on this journey, we're going to meet the priest. And then we're going to go ahead and meet the lovers. And then we're going to go ahead and meet the alchemist. And then we're going to go ahead and meet the cosmic child on the journey. And then the queen. And then the king and the warrior. And essentially on that journey, you're going to be taken from a state of feeling very powerful in a receptive way. Receptivity is really the domain of the priestess, which is wonderful. But then we need to move that through into alchemy, creating the magic vision of our lives. So we're going to energetically support that. And then we're going to end up energetically aligning our being to take action, to break down the barriers between you and getting whatever needs to get done, getting whatever needs to be manifested in your life manifested. So that's basically why I've structured the journey in the way that I have. It's based on our quiz results.
So you structured this specifically for the people on this call tonight.
Right, yeah. I mean, everyone in the group has every archetype in there to one extent or another, right? But the actual moving through for those 8 of the 22 primary archetypes that we're going to go on a journey with tonight is based directly on the quiz results and the ordering of the archetypes based on that. Okay?
Wonderful.
Yeah. So the good news is it's really very possible to clear any disconnects that you have. But the challenge is that it's not really possible to do that by yourself, because even if you know exactly where they are and exactly where they are, even if you make a logical decision to break free of the disconnects and reconnect to your archetypal field, your current existing energetic frequency and unconscious thought patterns will always pull you back to those disconnects. So you're sort of back to square one if you try to do some of this work a lot of the time, even if you try really hard. So that's why the key to liberating yourself from them is to go to the source, the part of your personal energetic field known as your archetypal field or your collective unconscious with everyone else on the planet. And to access that field of thought, we have to go about it outside of our normal realm of conscious thought. So it's a bit like going on a shamanic journey, and that's where this work comes in. So using the techniques I'm going to show you tonight for tapping into your archetypal fields, I can help you access the unconscious realms of energy where they reside. And systematically, we're going to remove all the disconnects that are holding your soul back in that way. And we're going to do it sort of in the format you see on the slide in front of you. So we're going to move from the unconscious mind. In fact, that's what we're doing right now. We're getting your conscious mind supporting this journey tonight. We really need the support of the conscious mind. And then when we go to the unconscious mind, which we're going to lead you into on our journey, the conscious mind is just basically told, you have all the information you need right now, conscious mind. You know what we're doing. You know it's good work. Now you can rest, just like you would rest in meditation or guided visualization. So we'll leave the conscious mind alone at that point, and we'll then start working with the unconscious mind through creative visualization and all of the processes I'm going to share with you tonight, and through a number of different processes like mudra and mantra, sound healing, creative visualization, activating some acupressure points. We're going to do even a little crystal therapy here tonight and some other modalities. We're going to start working with your physical body. And then through the physical body and the visualization, we're going to activate your subtle body's energy. The subtle body is just another way of saying your energetic field or your chi or your life force or your prana. You've probably heard that mentioned before. And so we have to get out of the language of words to go on this journey, right? And the quote underneath here is wonderful. Jonathan Cain is a really well-known psychic in England, by the way. And he said, the language of words is not enough. The spirit speaks in pictures, which is so true, so true.
Yes.
So it can be a really deeply liberating and exhilarating and life-changing process to start doing this work. And this technique works both on individuals and in groups, and in fact you're going to experience it firsthand in this archetypal clearing session. And group work can be very powerful because if we're all readjusting and aligning with our energetic field together, that can sort of have an amplifying or magnifying effect for the group.
Right.
So I think we're ready. Do you feel ready, Dawn?
I feel very ready. In fact, I'm going to my chair is quite squeaky, but I want to adjust myself to go in beyond the conscious mind. So,
yeah, I think that's actually a really good idea for everyone right now. So this is going to be some really valuable work, and I really want everyone just to take a moment, like Dawn, thank you for reminding me actually, Dawn, to just go and get yourself really comfortable. You know, if you need to, adjust your chair or your seat, that's a great thing. If you can have both of your feet on the ground, sort of maybe even parallel, that would be wonderful too. But really, however you're comfortable. We're going to be working with some creative visualization tonight, along with some mudras. Mudras are hand gestures that activate some acupressure points and meridian centers that run through our body. They also can also activate glandular systems in our body. So they're amazingly helpful to work with. In fuller archetypal reconnection sessions, I use a ton more modalities, but mudras are a really nice one to give you quite a quick experience of what we do and to give you some nice quick results in a session of this size. So they'll work very powerfully for us tonight. And the other thing you'll be doing is you'll be hearing a little bit of sound vibration in this session. There are a few mantras that I'm going to be chanting at certain points. If you're not familiar with mantras, you can think of them as sound vibration. There's Sanskrit words, and Sanskrit sound vibration is really great stuff to work with because it sort of really taps into some of our body's most vital energy forces. And we have some mantras tonight that really nicely align with the archetypal energies that we're working with. And then I have a gong that I'm going to be using and the visualization. So just what you know, just so you know what we're in store for. Now, the image that you're actually looking at right now, if you want to just take a few deep breaths in maybe for about a count of 5 in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale also for about 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale again for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if you want to soften your gaze as you look at this image, and continue your deep and more smooth and velvety breathing here, what you're going to see is an image of a gemstone in the background there, and the gemstone is called labradorite. Labradorite was a new stone for me a few years ago, but energetically it just happens to be the perfect stone for the journey we're going on together tonight. Labradorite is wonderful for infusing your energy system with a great deal of alignment with your intuitive powers, and then it kind of washes your whole system with sort of this alchemic creative force when you breathe it in. And then it also just sort of leads very nicely into taking action and moving forward energetically. So labradorite is just the perfect stone for our healing journey tonight. And then in the center of that, you're looking at a mandala artist's representation of the Manipura chakra, which is the third center chakra, the solar plexus chakra. The chakra, you can sort of get a sense of it in between your belly and your chest, right around your sternum. It's really part of your power center, which is so aligned with the warrior archetype and the king archetype that that's sort of where we're heading towards in this guided visualization. So I'm going to lead this slide up for you while we go through the work here. To start off, you can soften your gaze, relax back a little bit, even close your eyes at any point during the session that it feels appropriate to do so. And we're going to take a few inhales in together again. 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. See now if you can draw your exhale out longer, past 5 to 6 or 7, letting everything go. Inhaling again for about 4 or 5 this time at your own pace. Exhale long and smooth. Lengthening the exhale in this way stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which cues our nervous system to help the body relax and go deeper. So sitting comfortably as your body starts to relax, we're going to do a mudra together. Mudra again is that hand gesture. And this mudra is the mudra that I love to associate with the priestess. It's a mudra for evoking inner strength. We all possess such great reserves of inner power and wisdom. So within this innate understanding are really all the answers and solutions that you'll ever need. They're all right within us. So the practice of this mudra is going to help you tap into that well of inner strength. And the mudra is going to put you in touch with the universal and everlasting source that lives within you. So sitting with a straight spine, here's what I want you to do. Curl the index fingers of both of your hands in towards the palm of that hand. And then curl your thumbs over your index fingers. Straighten out the other 3 fingers remaining. And then your right hand, I want you to bring underneath the left hand. Both of your palms are facing up. Your right hand is going to slide underneath your left so that you've sort of got the 3 outstretched fingers of your right underneath the 3 outstretched fingers of your left palm. And then relax your shoulders. Place these hands in this position sort of in front of your chest, but relaxing your shoulders. So your elbows are a little out to the side here. And we're going to continue inhaling 2, 3, 4, and exhaling for 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now on your next inhale, inhale through your nose, with 4 kind of sips in to the top of the inhale, and then round your lips into an O shape and exhale. Maybe, you're making a little bit of a sound exhaling through the mouth in that position. Inhale again for 4. You can follow the sound of my breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. One more time. Exhale. Gently close your eyes, leaving your hands in this position for just a little while longer, and bring your awareness to a point behind your third eye. A point of awareness just behind your eyes. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Round your lips, exhale. Focus on that point behind your eyes. And then bringing your breath back to normal. Now see if you can shift your awareness from the point just behind your eyes to a point in the back of your head. Inhale here, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. One more time with the breath, focusing on the back of your head and the back of your spine. You can release your hands whenever you want, feeling the centering, the inward motion of your energy now. And then from the back of your head, see if you can drop your awareness back behind your body. See if you can sense something that feels sort of cave-like behind you, so that the wellspring, the resource of energy stemming from behind your physical body, your energetic cave energy. So this is the cave of what I like to call your priestess. And the priestess is where we're starting our journey. See if you can imagine a physical cave behind you. Imagine relaxing in this cave. The quality of the air that you're breathing in the cave is quiet and comfortable. It's cool but not too cold. A comfortable sensation of cave air surrounding you as you stand in the cave of the priestess. So getting a sense of this force of energy behind you now, you're just going to relax into that and listen for a moment or two. I'm going to say and sing 3 mantras here to start our journey off. And these mantras evoke the energy of the moon, which is the planet of the priestess. And we'll start with a gong, so just know that you'll hear that as well. Om Chandraya Namaha Soham. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha Soham. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. In your mind's eye, looking around the cave of the priestess, you notice in front of you that there's an opening at the front of the cave that light is starting to crack in at. It's certainly moonlight. It looks like it's a clear night out there. And you're going to move in your mind's eye towards the front of the opening of the cave. Sense the force of the priestess's cave behind you here. And we're going to go on a journey from this cave out. As you gaze out through the crack, the opening in the cave, you can see there's a full moon in the sky, which is quite clear. And the moon is bright enough that it's leading you down this path by illuminating the path quite nicely and easily. There's a path in front of you. It goes down a hill. There's a tree and a stone circle in the distance down the hill, a small one. And then there's a lake down at the bottom of the hill, not too far away. And there's a path connecting all of these items. And that's where we're going to go on our journey today. So before you step out of the cave, reconnect one more time to the cave of the priestess and sense the priestess archetypal energy behind you. She has a gift for you before you leave the cave. And in fact, all of the archetypal energies that we're going to meet on our journey tonight have a gift for you of an affirmation that they want to give you to accept in before you leave them. So the affirmation that is the priestess's gift to you is as follows. All wisdom is within you. All wisdom is within you. Breathing in the truth of this affirmation, you're now going to take one step with each foot just outside the cave, and your foot is going to land on a stone footstone just outside the cave. It's sort of like a step, only it's sort of a natural stone. This footstone is a nice solid place to really survey very clearly the path ahead of you. This footstone belongs to the archetypal energy of the priest. So, looking up a little, you see the sky above you, and on your next few breaths, focus on your throat area and breathe in the cool moonlit air around you, and let this cooling energy infuse your throat area with a cool, clear, cleansing sensation. Maybe that sensation washes around your throat a few times. So the priest's domain is really this throat area's energy. He's in charge of clear communication and speaking your truth into the world. A few more breaths taking in his energy into your throat before we leave the priest. And his gift, once you're fully sensing your throat area, we're going to take in the affirmation of the priest before we move on, and breathe this affirmation in to your throat center. The priest's affirmation for you is as follows. I communicate clearly. I speak my truth. I communicate clearly. I speak my truth. Now, looking slightly down the hill in front of you, you see that over to the right of the pathway, about 10 steps down the hill from you, there's an apple tree. And the apple tree has fruit on it that's ripe and heavy. You can see that because the moonlight is lightening it up so clearly. We're going to walk down towards the apple tree, and it's going to take us about 10 steps to get there. I'm going to sound the gong 10 times, and in your mind's eye, each time you hear the gong sound now, imagine yourself taking a step towards that apple tree down the hill. On the 10th sound of the gong, you will arrive under the boughs of the apple tree. Arriving under the bough of the apple tree, you're now going to look up, and through the branches and through the leaves and the apples, the moon is filtering down through the leaves of the tree. So there's a cool green light coming down. Breathe the sensation of this light into your heart center. All of the area of your chest can breathe this light in. If you want to slightly roll your shoulders down and away from your ears, that would be a wonderful thing to do here to open up that heart center a little more. If you can do this, then gently bring your hands out like they're cupping towards the sky, like you're accepting the light from the trees into your palms. That's also going to leave your heart center a little more open. We're now in the realm of the lovers. The lovers want you to breathe this energy fully into your heart space and feel warm and connected to the tree and connected to the whole world energetically from your heart center. Your heart center remains open even if people around you do things that you want to react to. You don't have to react to them. Know that they're not doing these things to you in any way at all. Your reaction is up to you. So the affirmation that the lovers wants to give you before you leave this tree and this archetype is as follows. I lovingly allow others to their own lessons. I lovingly allow others to their own lessons. We're going to return to the breath of heart that we did to start today's practice. And this breath, you can imagine again this green light coming into your heart center. The breath of heart is a tonic heart centering breath for the nervous system. And it's simply to take 5 long, deep, velvety breaths into your heart center, and then exhale also 5 deep breaths out from your heart center. Inhaling for 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the lovers, as we move from the lovers archetype out into the world, we're going to do another breath exercise. And this one is very good for releasing anything that isn't serving you anymore back into the ground. So the breath is just a breath that involves a lot of visualization, really. And here's what you're going to visualize. Facing out from beneath the apple tree, feeling supported by the apple tree, in a sense like you were in the cave, you're going to imagine your next breath coming into your body from the soles of your feet. Imagine as you inhale in that the center point of each sole of each foot is where that breath energy is coming from the ground beneath your feet. Inhaling, imagine that energy coming up from your feet, up the back side of your legs and your feet, all the way up to the crown of your head. And then anything that you don't need or doesn't serve you, any feeling of letting go that needs to happen is going to wash with the exhale out. So on your next inhale in, inhaling again from the feet up the back of the body all the way to the crown of the head, and then exhale, imagine washing your breath and anything that doesn't serve you down the front side of your body, all the way down and out through your toes back into the ground, releasing anything that doesn't serve you back to the earth. Inhale from the center of each foot up the back of the body again, all the way up to the crown of the head. Exhale, wash what doesn't serve you down through the front side of the body and out through your toes into the earth. Repeat that breath a few more times at your own pace. And as you do so, go ahead and gaze down the hill a little way further. About 5 steps ahead of you, you see the start of the opening of a stone circle. The stone circle is low to the ground and quite small, but the opening in the middle of it is where we're headed. It's a very spacious grove sort of feeling in the middle of that stone circle. It feels very open and free. So we're going to walk into the center of the stone circle now, leaving the tree of the lovers behind us. And I'm going to chime the gong 5 times for you again. And on the 5th chime, you're going to arrive in the center of the stone circle. Arriving in the center of the stone circle, go ahead and stretch your arms up. If you feel like yawning, yawn, and then link up your arms above your head, linking your fingers together. Once your fingers are linked together, push your palms away from you and bend your torso so that your back is arching a little bit, like you're yawning or stretching up to the heavens. Look up as you open your chest and gaze up in your mind's eye at all of the stars, all of the galaxies, the heavens up there. It's a brilliantly beautiful starlit night. The moon is very clear and bright, but you can also see all of the universe's stars. There are more stars up there tonight than you've ever seen in your life before. The whole universe is up there for you to gaze up at. Powerful inhale in as you take in this amazing expanse above you. And just stay in this awe and amazement and freedom, the sensation of gazing up at the universe from down on our feet. Can you still sense that you're connected to the earth? You connected to the earth very fully in your last breath, but from that connection, you can also now sense that you're connected to the heavens above you and actually supported by the heavens above you. In your mind's eye, you can imagine dropping your arms behind you in this sort of forward motion up to the heavens, opening your chest and your collarbone to the heavens. And perhaps like a little child, you can imagine yourself bringing your arms out to the side and spinning in a circle as you look up at the heavens. Even if you wobble and fall on the ground a little dizzy, the ground is very soft, the grass is soft beneath you. So it's very easy to get back up and gaze again at the heavens. This is the realm, the energy center of the cosmic child. And the cosmic child's energy that is going to share with you is the energy of absolute freedom, absolute support from the entire universe. And the message that the cosmic child wants to give you is this: the universe supports me. The universe supports me. Before we leave this beautiful stone circle, I want you to take a few really deep, invigorating breaths. Now you're going to make your inhale longer and more powerful than your exhale. Both are complete and full, but your inhale can now come to about a count of 6. If you haven't dropped your arms yet, you can do so. And your exhale can come to a count of 4. So inhale vibrantly, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, feeling grateful expansion of the universe of support above you and around you. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Coming back to standing straight. Now we're going to step about 5 paces forward in front of us to arrive again on the outside of the stone circle. And we're going to arrive in a little circle of grass that is directly in front of the stone circle. So the circle of grass, if any of you are familiar with what a fairy ring looks like, I grew up in England, and so fairy rings were very familiar to me. But it's a ring of darker grass that surrounds the rest of the normal grass, and so the story goes, this is where the fairies dance at night. So we're going to arrive in the center of the fairy ring of grass in 5 steps, out of the stone circle and into the grass in front of us. Arriving in the center of the fairy ring. This is the realm of the Queen. The Queen is responsible for all of the cosmic wonder of nature, so nature coming down to the planet Earth. She's responsible for harvest. She's responsible for all the goodness and abundance of the earth. She's responsible for making us human children feel cared for and nurtured. And she's the energy also behind all of the archetypal support that mothers feel caring for their children. When our mother and queen archetypes are in disconnect, we can feel lonely or uncared for, or that we're always serving others more than ourselves. So we're in this fairy ring of nurturing and care now to instead feel joyfully supported by the earth. We felt supported by the heavens, and now we're going to allow ourselves to feel supported by the earth. See if you can check in again with that heart center space. And this time, the energy around you that this magical fairy circle has surrounding you is sort of a rosy color energy, a warm rosy color. Maybe you can even smell roses, love and care and rosiness. And you're going to breathe this into your heart center. Again, the breath of heart. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Queen, the benevolent Queen, wants you to take care of yourself before you take care of others. But really know that once you are properly nurturing yourself, you can go and nurture others. But you come first. And the affirmation that she wants to give you is as follows. I allow myself to feel joy in nurturing myself and others. I allow myself to feel joy in nurturing myself and others. So breathe that rosy, joyful heart energy in one more time for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wonderful. We're going to step now about 5 paces in front of the fairy ring. If we look ahead of ourselves in our mind's eye, we can see that the lake is now only about 10 paces away. We're almost at the bottom of the hill. 5 paces away, we're going to stop and pause to meet the realm of the alchemist archetype. So go ahead and start walking forward to the gong count of 5. And when you get to 5, we're going to stop in the place of the alchemist. In the realm of the alchemist, you come from your universal and nature support system fully into yourself as creator of your own divine universe. The alchemist can both play with the energy of nature and earth and the energy of heavens and universe, and feel not only supported by both energy systems, but that he can play in the middle of them both as creator and divine magician and chemist, blending the two to create something of his own. His mudra is a moving mudra. If you can, you're going to get a little movement even in your own body here. You can either remain sitting, or if you want to stand for this one, that's also appropriate. Sitting is fine. But what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you lean down. So you're going to forward bend a little bit and reach your arms out as you forward bend to come down with you. Now imagine that you're sort of gathering a grain or sheaths of wheat or something from the earth. So sweep your arms in a gathering motion down towards the earth, and then bring them up in front of you, in front of your torso as your body comes up, and then continue your arms reaching up, up, up overhead, and open them to the sky and to the heavens. Now gather from the heavens with your hands And bring that back down in front of your torso, and then continue to lean down as you gather again from the earth with your hands. Gather that up, bring it back up in front of your torso, reach up, gather from the heavens. And exhale down in front of your heart and continue leaning down to the earth. And back up to center. So we're going to do that a few more times. Bring your hands into your heart for a moment and pause. Now we're going to do the same motion, the same gesture with our hands. And I'm going to repeat as we do this the mantra of the alchemist for you. So you can continue this downward sweep and upward sweep hand gesture as we do this. Here we go. Gathering from yin, the earth. Gathering from yang, the sky. Melding in the alchemical vessel of myself. In this I am. Gathering from yin, the earth. Gathering from yang, the sky. Melding in the alchemical vessel of myself. In this I am. One more time. Gathering from yin, the earth. Gathering from yang, the sky. Melding in the alchemical vessel of myself. In this I am. Bringing your palms back into your heart, into what in yoga we call Anjali Mudra. Breathing in the energy of the magician. You can sense on your inhale now energy not only coming into your body from your feet, but also energy coming into your body from the crown of your head. And both energies coming in on the inhale into your heart center and your power center, your solar plexus. And then on the exhale, the energy from your body comes out from the center point in all directions, down into the earth and up to the sky on the exhale. Inhale energy from both directions in to your center, and exhale, bringing energy back out from your body in both directions. This is the energetic field of the alchemist, the divine creator. And with his support, you are free to create the life that you want to live on the planet. When you align with him, creation becomes very, very possible. Now, the lakefront is only about 5 more steps ahead of us. Bring your awareness back to that lake, and we're going to do the gong again, and in 5 steps, you're going to allow yourself to come to the front of the lake. Standing right on the shore, on the edge of the earth, looking out into the water, you now stand in the potential power center of the realm of the king archetype. The king archetype is here to empower you. You've done the work of creation, you're supported by all of those forces behind you, and now you are ready to come into your own personal power. The king is here to support you in your empowerment and to support you holding and maintaining your authority through a benevolent love of yourself, an inherent sense of self-worth. He's important to connect with before we venture out into the world. So the energy of the king is a power center energy, but it's a heartfelt, benevolent power center energy. His mudra is as follows, and it has a breath to go with it. Reaching both your arms out in front of you with your palms facing up. Your palms are about shoulder distance apart from each other. You're going to imagine receiving the gifts of the universe in to your palms, and bring the gifts and the power of the universe by bending your elbows. You're going to bring your palms, still palms facing up, in towards your chest as you breathe in. Now, on the exhale, you're going to turn your palms facing out, away from you, like you're pushing on a wall, and push back out to straighten your arms with a forceful ha on the exhale. The ha when you say ha, you are not only putting your power back out into the universe as you exhale and push your arms out, but you're also expressing massive gratitude to the universe for all that you have been given. And it's a forceful pop of a ha to come out with your power center into the universe. So turning your palms to face up again, drawing that beautiful universal energy in as you bend your arms in towards your heart center. Take it in, and then exhale, ha, push out with gratitude. Grateful for every breath that your body takes on this planet. Every breath is a miracle that you can use. You have every right to use, and you are expressing your gratitude for your very life, that miracles occur with your life back to the universe when you express your powerful gratitude back. Inhale again, drawing the energy in. Exhale, push out, ha. Inhale in. Exhale out, forcefully, gratitude. One more. Inhale in. Exhale out, gratitude back to the universe. Feel your power. Feel your power. Bring your hands back to natural position at your side and accept the affirmation of the King. The King's affirmation gift for you is as follows. I claim my power for good. Now, we're going to gaze in our mind's eye over to the left-hand side, where you can see a little canoe waiting for you. You're going to walk over to the canoe, and you're going to seat yourself down in the canoe and take hold of an oar that you find on either side of the canoe. I will give you 5 gong sounds to imagine moving yourself there in your mind's eye. Seated in the canoe, the lake behind you laps in under the canoe with a nice wave of water, and on the lap out, it draws the canoe out into the water, and you can imagine yourself starting to row the canoe across the lake. So this is the mudra really that goes with the warrior. Both arms out to the side, just like you were rowing a boat. An motion with your arms like you're rowing a boat. So you're moving the boat across the canoe, across the lake. And this is the movement of moving into the next stage of your life. I'm going to say 3 mantras for you as you row yourself across the lake. When the mantras are completed, you're going to find yourself on a further shore, which is the island realm of the warrior. And this is a very active mudra. Let's continue imaginarily rowing your canoe across the lake. It's easy to row. The lake is smooth like a mirror, and you're finding yourself picking up quite a pace as you go, but quite effortlessly. It feels quite effortless to have the speed that you have going across this lake now. So the mantras that I'm about to chant for you are mantras to clear obstacles and come into praise of the planet Mars, which is the planet that presides in the archetypal field of the warrior. Narasimha Tavadaha Soham Om Shanti Om Om Sri Angarakaya Namaha Narasimha Tavadaha Soham Om Shanti Om Om Sri Angarakaya Namaha. Allowing your boat to pull onto the shore, on the further shore, to arrive on the island of the warrior. Stand up from your boat and climb on out of the boat and turn around on the island. The sun is now just starting to rise, and you can feel the first rays of the sun Bring in warmth. You can feel the warmth of the sun's rays hitting your chest, your solar plexus, and your throat, bathing in a gentle warmth. You realize that you just rode yourself across this incredibly vast lake. You manifested a ton of action in your life, and it feels like you did it quite easily without any struggle. And you feel, just as you feel the sun's warmth on your body, you feel very supported in a warm way by the universe and the earth around you in your manifestation, in your moving into action. You did it. You went on this journey and you accomplished this rowing across the lake. Now, in front of you, in your mind's eye, you start to see off towards a tree. There seems to be something under the tree. It's a treasure chest. Allow the treasure chest to come into focus and walk over towards the treasure chest with the next 5 sounds of the gong. Standing in front of the treasure chest, you now know with all of your heart that your deepest desire, something that you've wanted to manifest for so long, is right inside that treasure chest, and it's open, it's unlocked now. You've done the work, you're a master manifestor now. I want you to have the experience now of reaching down and bringing the lid off that treasure chest, opening it up, and receiving into your warm heart center whatever it is that's in there waiting for you, your heart's greatest desire. Allow yourself to feel the sweetness of receiving what it is that you desire. You created it, you manifested it, you deserve it with all of your being. You deserve this. Allow yourself to have what you greatly desire. Allow yourself to feel what it feels like to have this gift. And bring it into your palm, crossing one palm over the other, bringing your palms in towards your heart. Receive what you know you deserve. You are a manifestor and a creator, and you did the work here today. The warrior's affirmation for you also receive into your heart. The warrior's affirmation for you is, I easily manifest and create my soul's greatest purpose. I easily manifest and create my soul's greatest purpose. Breathe this in for one more breath. And gently, when you're ready, drop your hands and gently open your eyes to gaze back on the image that you see before you, the labradorite, stone of intuition through alchemy into will and creation. So, you did it. Thank you so much for going on that journey with us. If the session has worked for you today, you should feel a difference of some sort very subtly right now. You can notice all the sensations that feel different now in your body that when we started the session didn't feel quite that different. Perhaps you have a stillness in your mind, a buzzy energy in parts of your body. You can experiment with charging anything in your body that feels more enlivened than it did before. Feel this part of your body, the parts that feel more enlivened now. Charge them with this new feeling of the power of the peaceful manifesting warrior. And you can let every part of your body and energy field that is more enlivened become stronger. And let this feeling give you confidence and energy to move forward and create and take action in whatever areas of your life need focus right now. This is a lot to feel even now, but I know that basically this subtle shift in your mind and energy is just the start. What you're feeling right now is just the start of the power of the session you've just done. It's going to continue to grow throughout the coming days and weeks and months. Once you've reconnected to a part of your archetypal field, that field starts feeding you and magnifying the growth of that energy for you. So this is good stuff, but it's only the beginning. Now, you can notice where you might be feeling more expansive and energized, and just be aware that this is what it feels like to feel your archetypal energy field coming back into alignment, just tell your mind consciously, this is what it's supposed to feel like. And that's going to help you return to this state whenever you need to. Once the mind gets what it's supposed to feel like, to be in an aligned state, it's easier for the mind to help you back there. So that's how we ally with the conscious mind once again. So just bear in mind, though, that what we just worked through was actually just a really small archetypal reconnection session. We did about 8 different archetypes very quickly there. We spent about 3 minutes, maybe 2 minutes on some of the archetypes there and worked through all 8 of them. But the truth is, there are at least 22 archetypal disconnects that affect us all to varying degrees. And there are actually many more than that, but these primary 22 are really common to everyone. So they're the most powerful to work on collectively as we impact the most change through our group work with these archetypes. And the beautiful thing about clearing archetypal disconnects is that the positive change happens almost automatically with no real effort consciously on your part. And that's because your unconscious mind and your energy field are doing all of the work for you, along with the help of the entire group's energy and the moderation of the energy work moderator. So the kind of positive change that I'm talking about here is that when you clear these disconnects, you'll start noticing a variety of improvements in a lot of different areas of your life, and we can have a quick look at them. So, when your priestess is fully aligned, you're going to have this incredibly powerful sixth sense. Your intuition is going to come in full force, and the priest is going to allow you to communicate yourself clearly and give you a newfound love of learning. The lovers, when they're fully aligned, you have this amazing ability to connect to others and have meaningful relationships. On this slide, it looks like I didn't actually list the cosmic child and the alchemist for you, but the cosmic child, when it's in alignment with you, allows you such freedom and such an exhilarating sense of adventure about life that then you're free to move into the realm of the alchemist and create. Remember that gathering from yin and gathering from yang we did, the flow of creation. The queen, it becomes really easy to care for yourself and others, and she really is the embodiment of all feminine caring power. And the king is the empowered king, the newfound easy self-authority and self-esteem. And then the warrior, it becomes really easy to actually manifest, to take action, to get things done in your ideal life. So what I have for you tonight is a chance to do more of this work. I've actually just created a new program. It hasn't been released to the public yet. You guys are the first ones to be invited to it this week. I've got about 900 people who've listened to this webcast this week, and next week when I release it to the public, we've got 15,000 being put in front of this webcast. So you guys sort of have first dibs on this program tonight. And this program is a 22-week immersive course in archetypal reconnection, where instead of 3 minutes per archetype, we're going to spend a full 2 hours on each of the full set of 22 archetypes that we can reconnect with. In addition to the reconnection webcasts, which are a lot like we have here tonight, you're also going to have access when you take this to the downloads, the MP3 downloads of each of the 22 2-hour sessions. So you'll have 44 hours of archetypal reconnection sessions that you can download as MP3s and pop onto your iPod or have them with you for the rest of your life, and you can give those to your family as well. But they're going to be live sessions with me for you. So in addition to those private sessions every week that you get to download after they're done, you get to join me live on them. But moving into that archetype for the whole week, we're going to open a private forum so that you can actually interact with me and get really specific questions and learning points answered for you about each archetype. We're going to have a ton of time during the week to do a lot of supportive materials about the mythology and the symbology that accompanies and really complements each archetypal energy. So we'll look at all of that mythic and symbol alignment with the archetypes as well. And you get to interact with me live on the calls. And then on the webcast, which will look a lot like this, you'll also have a box where you can chat with me live as well as answer questions with me. But I'll also actually literally open up the phone lines to you so that you can literally be on the line talking to me during the live sessions. So there's a ton of live interaction with us on that course. But because it's a brand new course, I threw in some bonuses this week for the first 100, and I only have 100 spots in this course because we want to keep it fairly intimate. But if you're one of the first 100 to purchase this course this week, not only do you get a discount on the course, which you may have seen on that slide or not, but I'm also going to throw in a live archetypal healing session with me. This is a 1-hour one-on-one session with me, and they usually go for a 200 by themselves online. And then in addition to that, you get a certificate of completion of level 1 archetypal healing. So if you're a body worker or a yoga teacher and you'd like to start learning how to supplement what you already do with archetypal healing that you can bring to your practice or your modality, this is going to be something you might be interested in. You don't have to do that, but it's available to you if you do this course with us. And then because I also run the virtual tarot school, and tarot is an archetypal system of knowledge and symbol, is so complementary to archetypal healing, I'm bonusing you guys a few things from Virtual Tarot School here. If you do this with us as one of our first 100 tonight, then you get the full Tarot for Beginners course, which is a 9-hour course on tarot. It's a video course, so lots of visual image there for you in that course. You also get the Tarot Masterclass Series 1, which is also $67. And then you get the Masterclass Series 2, 3, and 4 that we're doing this spring. These courses, the 2, 3, and 4, focus on the major 22 cards of the tarot, which are almost perfect complements to the 22 archetypes that we're realigning with in the archetypal healing sessions. So they're really a great value and a really great complement to this work. I'm going to be releasing Series 2, 3, and 4 collectively over on Virtual Tarot School this spring for $250. And I'm just going to throw that in with this now too. You also I also direct the Flagstaff Yoga Festival in northern Arizona. And if you come on board with us today for $247 for the Archetypal Reconnection Journey, you also get 2 3-day passes to the 2012 Flagstaff Yoga Festival, which is being held on the first weekend of August, on August 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 3-day weekend. We're right down the road from the Grand Canyon and right up the road from Sedona. So it's a lovely vacation for 2 that you get to do there with us if you decide to come. And if you don't get to come to that yourself, you can always gift those passes to other people as well. They're worth $600 for those passes. So if you add up all of the bonuses there, in addition to the archetypal healing session here, which is going for $247 for 44 hours of immersive archetypal reconnection therapy, and all of the forums of information and support to go along with them, all of the mythic support work and journaling to go along with those archetypal reconnection sessions, you also get the $200 live session with me, the $50 certification, the $67 Tarot for Beginners course, the $67 Masterclass Series 1, the $250 Masterclass Series 2, 3, and 4, the 2 passes to the Flagstaff Yoga Festival at $600 each. The total value of all of those bonuses combined is over $1,200, and the reconnection course, so the value of the package is about $1,400, or just shy of $1,500, I suppose. But for the first 100, just to kickstart this entire program, I do have about 900 listening to this webcast this week, but for the first 100, we're doing this whole thing for $247. So if you're interested in coming on this with us, by the way, the Archetypal Reconnections course starts in March, and we're going to survey our students to find the best times for people to get on live courses together. And of course, the replays, the 44 hours of replays of these reconnection sessions are going to be available to you as MP3 download as well. So if you'd like to take us up on that offer, this is actually going to be put online next week. When we get the 100 people in, we're going to raise the price to the full $297 for this course without the bonuses, and that's what you'll see online So if you'd like to take advantage of this right now to get all this $1,500 worth of value and work for the price of $247, you just click over on the button on the left-hand side of your screen. It says exclusive offer. It sort of get a red line around it. If you click there, you can go ahead and grab this course, and I would be happy to have you in it. I'm pretty sure that this webcast is probably going to do it for the 100. We've got several dozen in the course already, so if you'd like to grab one of those last sessions, tonight's definitely the night to do it. Now, before we go to Q&A, I just wanted to gift you guys the gift that we were going to offer everyone at the end of this archetypal reconnection session. So the gift is if you punch in a little question or recommendation or anything of that nature into the Q&A box right there, and I have your email on that Q&A, and it can just be what you sensed or felt or whatever came up for you during the archetypal reconnection session tonight would be wonderful for me to hear about. And if you can just pop that in there for me and give me a little feedback on the course, then what we're going to do is my friend and yoga teacher colleague Aminda Courtwright has offered to send you guys a free download of a yoga nidra session, which is a very complimentary, relaxed yoga. It's a yoga of relaxation, and it's very, very complementary to the work we do in archetypal reconnection work. In fact, we'll be using a little bit of yoga nidra in our sessions too. So she wanted to give you a taste of that just as our thank you for having you join us here tonight. And how you get that is you just leave me a little bit of feedback in the Q&A box. Be sure to pop your email in there for me, and I'll make sure that you get the link to that download. So I want to go to Q&A. If you guys want to ask questions about the program, or if you want to ask questions about anything that came up today, I'm going to hang out with you guys on the line and just chat with you a little bit as I see questions coming in. And I'd love to just hang out with you guys, so feel free to pop some questions in, and I will go ahead and try my best to answer them. So I'm looking at the questions right now, and I've got a question from Wendy saying, I have a feeling this is a rerun presentation. Nope, this is me live with you right now on Thursday night. So yeah, I suppose that reruns can be done on this sort of format, but no, this is me live tonight, so you can actually send me any questions you want here, and I'll go ahead and try to answer any questions you have about the program or about the work you have seen here tonight. I had a question come in, how would archetypal reconnection be used in my Reiki practice? I suppose this person's a Reiki practitioner. Oh, that's wonderful. Well, any healing modality like Reiki, or another one that I'm very familiar with is Phoenix Rising therapy, or even massage therapy. If you're aware about what sort of body issues can come up around archetypal field disconnects, then you can literally just talk and serve your client with your knowledge of that during your bodywork session or your Reiki session with them. If you have the affirmations handy, or if you know some of the acupressure points or meridian points that you can stimulate to help that archetypal field come back into reconnection, which is some of the work we'll be teaching you in the certification course here, then you can just bring that in as a wonderful complement. A nice thing that I like to do in my yoga practice, I'm a yoga teacher, and I've been teaching archetypal therapy at the Flagstaff Yoga Festival for the last few years, actually. During my yoga asana practice, sometimes I'll tell some of the mythology that goes with the archetypes that we're connecting to during our sessions. And that story work is so valuable for adults. It can really be just an amazing thing for adults to experience storytelling. Usually we just sort of give that storytelling, that mythic storytelling to children. But as adults, I think we actually need that even more in a way. We need to reconnect with story. I mean, humans remember. It's actually been shown time and time over that humans' memory is best activated through story. It's a lot easier for us to remember story than it is individual facts and figures. And actually, that's one way that archetypal healing therapy is a really nice modality to pick up for yourself and for your clients. Because we do so much guided visualization, even if you can't remember the exact meridian center that you're supposed to be working on to connect to an archetype, you'll probably remember the guided visualization fairly well. So your body will remember what meridian that is, just because it will remember, once it remembers the story, what body form went along with it. That's just sort of how it works. So it's a really valuable modality to employ for that. I see my friend Christina in Albuquerque was here. Thank you, Laura. This is beautiful. Good light work. I feel this in my upper back, heart, and throat. Love and light, Christina. Thank you so much, Christina. I appreciate that very much. And yeah, I think, let me see what other questions I have here coming in. You guys are free to type in anything you want. And you can also type in any questions you have about the program too. And I can see if I can answer those for you. It's a really exciting new program that I'm doing, and this is the first week, so I'm always curious to see what questions actually come up for people about something new, and that's really good feedback for me too. So feel free to just jot down anything that's coming to mind there, or anything you need more help on. I have someone asking for the instruction again on the mudra that we did at the beginning of class. So I'll go ahead and give you a little bit more information about that priestess mudra that we did. So this mudra, just so you know, it activated the power centers, like the chakra centers of both the third and the fourth chakra, but it did it in a very passive way that stimulated the parasympathetic nervous system. So it keyed us into the correct chakras to move from the priestess archetypal field into the king and the warrior. But it did so, and that would be, the king and the warrior, third and fourth chakras, but it did so by stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system instead of the sympathetic nervous system. So this question is coming from someone I know knows a little neurology, so there you go. And if you wanted to envision colors to go along with that mudra, yellow and green are really good colors to visualize there. So I'll give you the instruction on that mudra again, because it sounds like you want to jot it down for a yoga class or something. So basically what you do is you sit with a straight spine and you curl your index finger into your palm. You curl your thumb over your index finger. You join up the remaining 3 straightened fingers, and then you put the 3 straightened fingers of the right hand underneath the 3 straightened fingers of the left hand, and then you bring that entire mudra up, palm facing up, in front of your chest. And the inhale there was 4 short strokes through the nose to the top of the inhale, and then you shaped your lips into an O sound and exhaled out. And that's most powerful if it's done with about 3 minutes of practice. We did it for a little bit shorter here just so we could fit everything in. But, recommended practice for that mudra is about 3 minutes. And as with any of these, I'll have supporting mudras and kinesiology and gemstone work and aromatherapy and what else, Bach flowers, all sorts of amazing supportive modalities of energy work that we're going to be going into in the 22 sessions to support the 2-hour immersion into every single archetype we do. And in the course, all of this information about all of these modalities and gestures and what meridians we're activating and all of that techie stuff is going to be available for you in PDF download on the membership site. And of course, any questions you have about any of that as we go along are yours to ask me, and that's absolutely fine too. And in addition to doing that, I just had a question coming in about the private archetype healing session, so I'll go ahead and answer that for you guys. I used to the only session I used to do privately, well, okay, I did 2. So I'm a yoga teacher. I would do private yoga sessions, and then I would also do private tarot readings. And I've been doing tarot readings for about a year now with Skype, which is a really great medium to do tarot readings on, because via my video webcam, I can literally show people the images that I've got in front of me, and I've got about 20 or 30 decks. So, my readings change up every time I read for someone based on the deck and the person and the spread. So it's great to use something like Skype to show all of that visually. And what an archetypal reconnection session consists of is partially intuitive work, which I now use tarot and pendulum for, and just tapping into the archetypal field. And through that work and through talking to you, we figure out what's going on in your life. And we don't just have to do stuff about your body. I know that this session here tonight was very focused on the energy work because I wanted to give you a physical sensation of what the work's power is. But, I have people coming to me all the time with relationship issues or issues about their career or whatever. And actually, the answers to all of those issues also show up in your energy field in your body. So through the intuitive work, I start getting a grasp on what needs to be done. And, I have cards and things to show you, but I also very clearly sense in my own body where things are showing up and how we can move some of that energy for you through body work. So in an archetypal reconnection one-on-one session with me, which you get if, it's a $200 session, and you get that in with the $247 course. All of this combined is $247 for all of it. Yep, I'm clarifying that in a question too. Yep, $247 for all of it. Yes, I know it's $1,400 worth of stuff, but it's $247 today because you'll be one of the first 100 to come in. So that's the deal. Yeah, it's a $200 session to have with me ordinarily that is in with this package, and it's an hour-long session, and it's a blend of an intuitive reading with energy work. So not only, like an intuitive reading only goes so far by itself, right? Because you're sitting there talking to a tarot reader or whatever usually, and they're just telling you what your problems are or what you might be able to think about it or whatever. But, the real work of change usually has to happen through energy work. So if you can couple that intuitive reading work with archetypal reconnection therapy, then you're getting somewhere. So the power of that work is really cool, and that's a little bit about what it looks like. Of course, if you're in the area of Flagstaff, I'm more than happy to do that live with you, but Skype would be a really good format. I can do that over phone, but Skype is obviously better because it's visual. So that's really how I like to, that's how I prefer to do that. So, okay, I'm going to do, here we go, Kathy. I felt comfortable on the reconnection journey, but felt it was difficult to visualize and claim the treasure. Yeah, and for a lot of us, claiming that treasure, the part of the warrior journey that we did, that can be deep work of change for many of us. I mean, I know for myself, with, especially with my journey through anorexia, the warrior reconnection was the one that really needed the deep work, right? It needed a lot more than 3 minutes. That you could, if you could even visualize sort of a cloudy shape of a treasure box in front of you, you're a lot further along already than I was when I started. I will tell you that. 2 hours of work is going to get you much further. But of course, then having the recording and knowing that if you have an archetype that's particularly weak, it's going to be, good for you to play that recording over and over. I mean, some of these recordings, you can literally just drop the mudras and play yourself to sleep with them. They work like hypnotic scripts in that way for you as well. So if you needed to play something over and over and over again for a year, you can do that, right? In a lot of ways, these archetypal reconnections, they're a little bit like a nutritional supplement, right? So if you've been deficient in a mineral for years and years and years, you're going to need to take more than one pill of it to get that back in balance in your body, right? You might need to take it for 6 months and then you're done. You might need to take that supplement for the rest of your life, who knows? But having that recording there is sort of like that. You then have that supplement and you'll come more into alignment with you as that goes. So the other thing to really bear in mind with this kind of work as pertains to visualization is some people, and if you're thinking about using the certification for this as a modality that you want to incorporate into your body work or energy healing work of your own, just be aware of this. Some people do have a trickier time than others visualizing. Everyone actually can visualize. It's a bit like a muscle that we need to develop, really, to really bring that visualization. It's like a sense. We need to strengthen the sense of visualization that we have within us. I mean, if I ask you guys all to close your eyes right now and visualize your front door, you can all do it, right? I mean, visualization is possible for everyone. It's just the extent to which our visualization sense has been honed that becomes easier for us. So, you know, doing a number of hours of work with archetypal reconnection makes that easier as you go along. Wonderful. Okay, Christine in Colorado. Hadn't thought about it as much when I took the quiz, but when you started talking about what might be wrong, as if any part was disconnected, and I was all unconnected. I followed your session fairly easily, with the exception of follow physical moves. Yeah, and by the way, with the physical moves, guys, in the immersion course that I'm doing, the 44 hours there, the slides that I'll get to prepare for those, I'll have a slide demoing each mudra and so on and so forth. So yeah, physical moves can be hard to do if you're not an auditory learner, right? So in the full session, we're going to make sure you have visual reference points as well as, you know, the auditory, and that will be, you know, in the immersive course. So yeah, I can understand why the physical moves might have been a bit hard there. Going over it all again as I sleep tonight, I'm sure. Good. That's the best thing to do. So much felt true, and I'm renewed in my healing. Thank you. I'm feeling more calm compared with when we started. That's the beautiful thing about this work. Thank you so much for sharing. And Emily from right here in Flagstaff. Hi, Emily. Emily's had my yoga class. So she says, as someone who's had the wonderful opportunity to attend Laura's Archetype Yoga class and many other at the Yoga Festival, a tarot reading and her tarot reading school courses, I can attest that this is an amazing opportunity. Oh, thank you, Emily. I appreciate that. Felt very much like I'd completed a yin yoga class or a hypno-restorative class afterwards. Oh, well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Wonderful, Emily. I really, really appreciate your feedback there. Great. Well, guys, I've really enjoyed our time with us tonight. Feel free to pop in another question if something occurs to you. And I'm going to go ahead and leave that button up for a few more hours here. We're going to probably finish up with these 100 spots for 247 really shortly here. We're pretty close. We might close those out tonight. But again, it is about $1,400 of my work, very extensive work, 44 hours of a course for you. You will get to be live on those sessions with me. There will also be timed replays of them. I don't think I mentioned that yet. But the timed replay is going to be something available to you in addition to the recordings of these sessions. And the valuable thing about having a timed replay, even if you miss the live session, and again, I will be surveying you guys to see if we can find a nice preferred live session time or two per week that most everyone can do. We'll also be doing a few timed replays during that week. The nice thing about having a timed replay of an archetypal reconnection session is that we get the opportunity to do the energy work together in a group. Of course, that group will be everyone else who missed the live session. But the group work is really a valuable part of this. A lot of people call the effect that doing group energy work together, some people call it the 100th monkey effect, some people call it the Maharishi effect, but it's been proven in a few different instances now that moving energy collectively as a group really magnifies the power of the session. So I'm going to go ahead and make those live replays at timed replay times available to you guys, as well as the live webcasts, as well as the MP3 downloads that you get to do anytime you want. And then you'll also have a replay that you can just literally click play on your screen, just like a movie. So you'll have the slides and everything streaming that way. So you have 4 different ways to really digest the material that, like, you know, on the webcast that you're doing here. And then you'll have all of the supporting PDFs and the membership site where you'll get to converse with me as well. Oh, and one other really nice thing about working in the bonus of the live session with me, the one-on-one session, is that by doing that, I'm going to be able to get to know the folks in the group who take me up on that live session a little more intimately. So, you know, there are so many different ways that you can go. I mean, even 2 hours per archetype is really a very short amount of time when you think about it. But, you know, if I get to know all of you guys pretty well in a private session, of course, I'm going to be fairly busy with these 5 private sessions because I want to do one for everyone of the 100 who've joined us. So, you know, your private session will book out as soon as you book, and we'll get it in sometime in the next few months for you. But once we have that under our belts, I'll be able to really sort of customize the work of the 2-hour sessions a bit more to you. If I understand more fully how these archetypal fields pertain to you, what is really going on in a little more detail with you, with each of these archetypal fields. And again, there's 22 of them. We've only really addressed 8 of them here for about 3 minutes apiece, but there's 22 that we'll be spending a full 2 hours on in each archetype. But, you know, even in those 2-hour sessions, there's a ton of customization that I would love the opportunity to do to make it a bit more of a meaningful session for each of you. So doing the one-on-one sessions with you guys are going to give me the opportunity to do a little more of that. So that's exciting. And then someone wants to know a little bit more about the virtual tarot school classes. Yeah, you can check them out individually if you want at virtualtarotschool.com. And there's a combo pack of 1 and 2 there available for $97. The 3, 4, and 5, the courses for tarot, arcana cards there that I haven't got up yet, are immersive sessions. It's going to be 2 hours of more of the brainiac, symbologist, mythic take on each of the archetypes. And these 22 archetypes we're doing over here correspond almost exactly with the major arcana of the tarot. Not precisely, but almost exactly. And so the work over there on the 22 major arcana cards in the course I'm going to be doing over there, which also, by the way, you guys will get to take live if you want to, or you'll also have it in recording, just like you would this one, are so complementary, but in more of a sense of delving into the mythic work and the symbolic work of that archetype in way greater detail. And then, of course, we have the complement to that over here in this course of all of the energetic work, with a lot of the mythic work over here too, but we'll have all of the energy work over here in Healing with the Archetypes. So I think they're really sort of sister courses. They're both $250, $297 courses in that range. So they're great complements to each other, so I wanted to sort of give you a 2-for-1 there. Flagstaff Yoga Festival question, okay. Flagstaff Yoga Festival, first weekend of August, you get 2 full 3-day tickets. What do you get to do in those 2 days? 3 days, excuse me. Well, we have about 100 different yoga workshops over the course of 3 days at the festival. There's about 5 different workshops each day, but within each workshop slot, there's about 8 or 9 different workshops that you can choose between. So we have everything from meditation to Sangha work to belly dancing to Ashtanga yoga to Yin yoga, something for everybody. And that's really the idea. It's a gigantic yoga party. But you're not in the room with like 200 other people in one room, because there are 9 sessions. The sessions are actually in quite intimate classrooms of maybe 20 or 30 people in each session. So it feels like a much more relaxed, intimate event, even though there's, you know, about 200 or 300 people on the campus at one time with you at the festival. They're all in different workshops. So it feels like a much more intimate class setting, and I think feels a lot more like a relaxed vacation for that reason. I've got the 2011 schedule still posted up on the site, and we're putting together the 2012 schedule right now, but it's the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of August, which is a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it's just the golden time to visit Flagstaff. Flagstaff is in northern Arizona. It's about 70 miles from the Grand Canyon, and it's about 30 miles from Sedona, which is a big vortex energy center. It's in the middle of a pine forest at 7,000 feet. It feels a lot like Colorado. And we have these beautiful monsoons that come out here every year in August. And yeah, if you get to come, you actually get to take a Healing with the Archetypes workshop with me a couple of times live. I'll actually be teaching there as well. And so will Aminda, the woman who's giving you the Yoga Nidra tonight, along with about 50 other presenters. So yeah, I think that's about all the questions. I think I got to them all. Well, I will keep this offer button, the exclusive offer button, up here for you guys for the next few hours until I run out of the spots, and then I'll take it down. So if it's still there and you can still click through on it, then you're in a fabulous place. And I will just leave it up until they're gone. So if you find that it's gone, then that means I'm sold out. But I should be good for an hour or so here, where we've got several dozen in there already, and we've got 900 listening to the webcast, so I'm sure we'll be gone fairly soon. But if you still see it there, then there's still some spots available. And yeah, after these 100 intro spots are gone, you guys kind of get to seed the program and be my pioneers and the first certification program people if you want to be. But after this, it's going to be available on healingwiththearchetypes.com for $297, and the bonuses probably won't apply to that deal. We'll probably have just the arrangement of the class itself on there. So this is a stellar deal because you get $1,400 in bonuses with the thing, and I think you guys understand that, so that's great. Oh, one other question just came in. Let's have a look at this. Okay. So there's a ton of information on the button I just clicked in that you didn't go over. Yeah, I put a ton in there about archetypal reconnection for you, as well as just the sales form. All the bonuses are outlined there for you as well, and the terms and conditions and all of that. But yeah, there's a little bit of a letter about archetypal reconnection for you there, with some material from Joseph Campbell, and some information about the 22 primary archetype and keys and how to leverage your encoded archetypal consciousness. And I just threw a ton of information up there for you because a lot of people, they like to read things over, sort of in black and white before they buy something. So yes, the page is long for that reason. If you're ready to buy, just feel free to order now. I mean, it isn't something that you absolutely have to go through. If you get it, you get it. And you know it's a good deal for you. But if you don't, then you've got a lot to digest over there. So I thought I'd give you that too, and that's why that's a bit of a long page. I think I had a charge come in. Oh, that's right. I need to tell you guys also that we do Visa and MasterCard. We don't do Amex or Discover at the moment, but it says that on the page too. So I think you're all set with that. Oh, and then I also have a guarantee. That was the only other thing I wanted to mention. I almost forgot it. So the guarantee on this work is that if you go through the entire, course material and you're not satisfied within 6 months of, from 6 months of the end of the 44 hours of work, if 6 months after the course doesn't finish, you really don't feel like you've gotten any value from this, and you've really given it a shot, and you've done all of the work, and you've digested all of the work, and you've played all of the work, and you don't feel like you've had any sort of body or health or mind or wealth realignment at all in your life, then I do put a money-back guarantee on this as well. So just to give you guys that, and I think it says that in the terms and conditions as well. So that's all in there as well. Wonderful. Well, I think I'm going to sign off, but you guys are welcome to stay and digest the course and go through the material at your leisure. If the spots are there, if the 100 spots are there, then the page will still be up, and I'll just take it down when they're done. So with that, I'm going to just leave you with the universal closing of many of our yogis and yoginis around the planet. I honor the part in each one of you in which the whole universe resides. And when you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Much gratitude for each of you. Thank yourselves, pat yourselves on the back for taking this time out to invest in your own energy and your own body tonight. And I really appreciate you being here. I really appreciate all the feedback as well. Many blessings to you, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening.